And one of the things I saw too was, people, oh, he's injury prone. Oh, he's a perfect Canuck because he's hurt. You know what? He got hurt. He was going to the net on a breakaway.
Such a great play,
like,
too,
it wasn't like he was over in the corner and some guy was just attacking him and he wasn't fighting back or push back. This guy was taking the puck to the net, doing the things you want to see him do. And it was unfortunate. It was a fluke accident. You don't see many guys break their thumb just going to the net. But, those things happen. But I have, the thumb is zero concern to me. This stuff happened. He's had the surgery now. He already thumbs up with the other thumb in the hospital bed, seen the picture. The thumb is no problem. There's no issue there.
I think Green's going to love him. I really think that, because that's another part of the layers that I was talking about. I brought it up on the Sakara show that, how is Travis going to fit him in? Where is he going to play him? Is he going to give him the best treatment where he doesn't, start the season on the team or start the season in the lineup? But his ability, collectively, when you put it all together, he has an elite skill set, right? And that was talked about at the draft. His skating was not seen then as a standout special trait of his. It was good, but just not standout elite skater. But he has an explosive quickness to him. And this is, I've talked to scouts and people in Sweden about this, and his ability to know when to use that explosiveness helps him create separation, and is the reason why he gets a ton of breakaways. So many of these, plays that we see, and that one you're talking about where he gets injured, he creates that breakaway on him. He has an innate ability to know when to use his explosive first 3 steps to create that separation. And that's one of the things that Travis Green harps on all the time, to Hutton, to Virtanen, to Stetcher, to all those guys. You ask them, what is Green telling you? They're always saying, he's always talking about the first 3 steps. And he will not have to worry about talking to Pettersson about the first 3 steps, because that guy has a quickness that the Canucks could use, have desperately needed for the past 3 years.
So where do you think all this talk then has come this week that it's now an issue about whether he's going to sign or not?
Well, obviously it comes from the GM of Vaco, and I don't think, and talking to the people close to Pettersson, I don't think he has any information that, say, I don't have, or great stuff Bob doesn't have. I think that he's he's making a judgment, and it's not the first time. I think he said it during the season as well, that he didn't know if Pettersson was strong enough to play in the NHL. And that's fair. That's totally fair to have his opinion. But obviously that kick-started the story. And I think what backed up the story was people close to Pettersson saying he hasn't decided yet. He's not sure. Now, all year long, the Canucks have acted and presented publicly he's going to be there in training camp. That's what they've said the whole time. So it does change. Walker said, nothing's changed. Yeah, it is changed, because up to this point, none of us have talked about no one in the media has talked about the possibility that he wouldn't be at training camp this fall. This is the first time it's become a story. Okay, now maybe nothing's changed from Pettersson's perspective on this, but certainly from our perspective here in Vancouver, to hear the general manager talk all year long, and you can go back and look at the quotes. All year he says, he's going to be there in training camp, and this is what we're going to do, and he's going to start in the wing, and all so all year long to hear the GM talk about that, and then to now we have to shift gears and say, okay, maybe there's nothing wrong. I don't think there's anything really wrong to me if he thinks he's not ready. Ultimately, I just want to preface this all by saying, I do think he's going to sign. Having talked to everyone involved, I do think he's going to sign. I do think he's going to be there this fall. But the idea that he may not is new. That's something that no one talked about that the entire year, and now people are talking about it. Even Boulis, who says it's not a story, was just the latest story I read was, is it a big deal if he starts the season in Sweden? So we're all now considering that it's a possibility, and we're all considering it for the first time. So that is news. So I think the Vaco GM kicked it off, and I was told he doesn't have any information that any of the others don't have. So he's just speaking on his opinion about it. I think he's wrong. I think that the strength thing is overrated and overstated. Clayton Keller is not some beast, and he kicked ass all season long as a rookie in the NHL. Like, I think Pettersson will be just fine. And I don't want to see him, bulk up. Like, this whole idea, he's got to be 15 pounds heavier, 20 pounds heavier. No, like, I want him lightning quick. Like, that's part of his whole appeal, and part of what makes him great is the dangle and the quickness and the ability to go backhand to forehand, and all of the moves that he brings to the table. I think he's fine. Like, he's 172 now. If he gets stronger in the summer, he's 175. Is anyone going to sweat that? No, that's a normal weight in the NHL. There's a ton of guys at 175 that are having a lot of success. So I do ultimately think it's over. Now, all of this said, in my top 10 prospects, there's a story about number 4, Jonathan Dallin. Jonathan Dallin, yes, he had mono last fall, and that kept him out of Penticton Young Stars, where he was supposed to play. But then he went to Utica. Now, everyone in the Canucks talked about him spending next year in the AHL with Utica. Everyone believed that that's what was going to happen. He got there, looked at the comments, participated in a couple of exhibition games, and yeah, mono was part of it, but there was a huge reality check for him. And Ryan Johnson, I retell the story in the package, and he says, like, he turned to me and said, "I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready. I can't do it." And there is that possibility, right? There is. So if it could happen to Dallin, well, of course it could. It could potentially, Pettersson could have that same reality check here too. So I think that he should take some time and, to really make sure that he's right and he's able. And I think the World Championship was an awesome experience, because that's the level of player he's going to be playing every night in the NHL.